What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gen. In today's video, I'm going to rank a bunch of tokens and talk about where I think that they should place in your portfolio. Because as you know, there are so many tokens out there. You've only got a limited amount of capital. And also, we only have a limited period of time for this bull run to take us and give us those gains. So you want to make sure that you're investing in the right things. Now, before I get into this, just remember nothing I say is financial advice. I'm just a guy on YouTube. While we're at it, make sure you hit the like button, share the video, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you'd like to see my moves on DeBank, you can check that out. And the links to my paid services are down below. Now, the cryptocurrency market is definitely a complicated one. There are hundreds upon thousands upon millions of tokens to select from. And while it may be tempting to just pick every single thing and pick like, $100 or $1,000 in every single token that exists, the reality is the more tokens you have, the harder it is to stay on top of everything. Not just that, but also certain tokens will do much better than others. So every token that you add, you're actually reducing your performance. Because if you find a token that 10 or 20x's, the more tokens you have that either go to zero or that do very slight gains, well, obviously you're diluting it. So my goal here is not to share with you what I think is going to 100x. I will talk a bit about some of the tokens that have high potential, but I'm going to talk about the tokens that I would want to structure my portfolio behind. And I have a tiering system, kind of using the tier maker website to basically select from some tokens over here, ranking them all the way from God tier all the way down to F tier. F tier is they should never be in your portfolio, whereas God tier is I'm okay getting into a coma and holding on to this token because I believe that this is the future of the space. And while there may be some short-term price volatility that brings the price down, I think long-term these tokens will survive. That's what the God tier area is for. And then A, B, C, and D, obviously a lot less conviction. God tier, however, does not implicitly say that this token will have the highest outperformance. That's not the case. So I want to make sure that's very clear. This is not one of those rankings where this is going to 10x, this is going to 100x, whatever. I'll probably make another video talking about things like that. So let's get started with the first token, Aave. Now, Aave, I'm just going to put this here for now. Aave is it's a finance protocol. So you're probably familiar with it because I've talked about it quite a number of times. I think it's a very good token. I think it's really the standard of decentralized finance. Survived at least one cycle, and people go there to deposit tokens, and it's a lending market, right? You lend out some tokens, you can borrow some stables, you can sort of go long and short depending on whichever way you want it. Now, DeFi was all the rage last cycle. It's not so much so hot right now, although I do think of all the DeFi tokens, Aave is the best one. And for that, let's just put that as an A for now, for DeFi. I think if you want to invest in DeFi, you can't go wrong investing in Aave. Now, the price of Aave, I believe, is around $260. Let me just check on the side. $256 right now. So, I will sort of, bring that up and we can go through some of this from time to time. The next one is Aptos. Now, Aptos is a layer one solution. Honestly, we don't need that many chains. That's the reality of it. Like, you want to bet on a layer one because last cycle, Solana and BNB were the top layer ones. They had incredible they had incredible gains. People, were rich just by buying them early. You could have bought Solana for $1 and it went to like 200 something. People were betting accordingly on Aptos. That being said, I just think there are way better L1 solutions. I don't remember the price of Aptos. I believe it's less than $10. So it's currently sitting at $5.59. when I talk about coins that can do okay, I think this can easily probably do it 2 or 3x, but I think it's way too risky and there are way better tokens for that. So we'll put Aptos here in the B tier. It's okay if you need a layer 1. I don't think it's something substantial. You could not have in your portfolio and nothing will be missed. The next one is Arbitrum. So Arbitrum is one of the popular layer 2s. It has gotten completely destroyed in price. Just take a look at this. It was a fantastic airdrop, and just like most airdrops, they tend to asymptotically approach zero. This is a token that I think there is absolutely zero reason to hold, and for that reason, I will put this as a D. Now, you can trade this to get slight price appreciation, but I don't think that your portfolio should consist of governance tokens. What I mean by governance tokens is all they do is help you vote on things on chain. Because let me tell you about a secret. The people who actually want to control the decisions, they already have more Arbitrum tokens than you, and there's no reason for you to hold on to them. It's different if it was a gas token, but it's not. The next is Avalanche. Now, Avalanche has seen some positive discussion in most recent time with the launch of Ket and Wink, which have made people, somewhat rich. I think you made like 100x on the pre-sale. It is down significantly from the highs of December, sitting at $24. We're back to like where we were, pre-election. That being said, it's another layer 1. Really, what is the point? So put it in B. Like it's another layer 1 option, sort of very tied to EVM. Obviously, I don't think that's worthwhile having. And it is the home of gaming, so potentially when gaming does well, we could see Avalanche do a lot better. The next one, take no explanation, the granddaddy Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the gold standard in crypto. The reality is, and I'm going to repeat sort of what a lot of my peers who are a lot, very, very smart in this space will tell you, which is the ultimate goal is to acquire Satoshis or sats. Sats are a unit of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is the only truly limited cryptocurrency, fully decentralized, not so scalable, so what? But it has so much more backing from governments that want to hold it. And because, I'll just put this in perspective, the reason the US wants to invest into Bitcoin is not because just they believe in Bitcoin, but they have to protect themselves from the upside of Bitcoin that other countries can gain by having it. Just taking a look at El Salvador, their president, or I think prime minister, basically loaded up on Bitcoin at the lows and basically has made so much money for El Salvador through that. Bitcoin is very unique. I believe it's our first God tier token. And the reason for that is, as I said, I'm okay having Bitcoin in my portfolio. If I don't sell it this cycle and I'm here 10 years later, I know the price of Bitcoin is going to be so much higher, right? Remember, we have a limited amount of Bitcoin and Bitcoin will continue to appreciate. It's the new digital gold, okay? The next one is Bitcoin Cash. So this is a fork of Bitcoin. And, it's sort of floundered ever since. Let me just type in Bitcoin Cash to get you the chart over here. Like Bitcoin is sitting at 100K or in that range, plus or minus $5,000. Meanwhile, Bitcoin Cash has really done nothing. You literally would not do well holding this token. Now, the next token is BNB or Binance. And I think Binance is very unique. And the reason for Binance is, once again, it was an outperformer last cycle. Majority of supply is controlled by one person, right? CZ. And because of that, shorting it is a nightmare. Now, Binance is sitting below 700 currently, although we did have a pump to 700. We did have a pump to $700, I believe, like within the last week. So if you just take a look over here, you can see that, right? We're 715. I think it's a good token. I don't think you can get that much return space. And for that reason, I'll put it as an A. The next token is Cardano. Now, Cardano is one of the Dino tokens. It's been around for so long. You can love it or hate it. There's lots of cults around it. Lots of people who either swear by it or will tell you it's the worst token ever. That being said, I think its role as a Dino coin, cements its place at least as a B. I'm kind of struggling to put it between an A and a B because I don't think there's that much upside for it. So but honestly, there's absolutely no difference for me between. If I could put it in between right here, B and A, I would. I don't think anything special about Cardano. They talked about smart contracts and everything. What's happened, right? I sold Cardano at $3 a long time ago, and then I bought it back for 25, 30 cents and sold it again. And you can see here, we haven't ever come close to this. We haven't even come close to breaking the 50% on the, I forget what the thing's called, but anyways, the Fibonacci's. The next token I want to talk about is Celestia. Now, Celestia, everyone was sold a bag of false goods. Airdropped around $2, rose to $20, and has basically come back to that price. Majority of Celestia was staked to get airdrops that were almost worthless after Dimension, which also ended up becoming worthless. And as you can see here, there's absolutely no reason to hold the token. Very inflationary if you stake it to earn the Celestia rewards. So the only people who are really making out are the validators who continue to dump the tokens to make money. For this reason, I have Celestia as an F. F is never in your portfolio, right? The next token I want to talk about is Cosmos. So Cosmos is just very much like Celestia. I'd honestly say it's got a lot of the exact same mechanisms. So basically, the way you have to look at Cosmos is Cosmos also has a lot of that infighting with validators. Basically, they control the project. They want you to stake the token. And then if you don't stake, you get diluted on your investment. If you stake, you can't sell it. Meanwhile, the validators are selling. So once again, Cosmos has severely underperformed this cycle. If we just sort of take a look over here. And I held it $12 during the bear market, and now we're sitting when we're in the bull market, we're sitting at $4. Just completely disgusting. No reason to have it in your portfolio whatsoever. The next thing is sort of Chainlink that I want to talk about. Chainlink is now a bit more tied to AI and sort of all of that is sort of an infrastructure play. A lot of people talk very positively about it. I do like infrastructure plays, but once again, you have to sort of look at your portfolio and go, okay, at the end of the day, if my ultimate goal is to increase my Satoshis or my USD value, whichever one you want to get to, a lot of these other tokens, your goal here, right, whether it's from A to D, is to basically trade these tokens to make more money and then put it back into Bitcoin or put it into USD. So Chainlink does have a place to play in this. It's going to be very involved in AI and sort of an infrastructure of that. So for that reason, I put it in B. It doesn't stand out as a key player. It's not an Aave or a BNB. So I put it as a B. The next token here is Doge. Doge was the first ever meme coin, right? Doge is now the Department of Governmental Efficiency. The Dogecoin did very well. It was a bet on Elon Musk. I remember telling people right before the election that I was buying it 9 cents. It did rally to 40 cents. I sold all mine. And now you can see here we're sort of back to 25 cents. Although I do think that you could probably do better for your portfolio. I will talk about another meme coin that I'm a lot more bullish on. I think it's okay. It's a thing of the past. Likely will probably 2 to 3x, but put Dogecoin as a B over here. The next token, and one that I believe very strongly in, is Ethereum. Ethereum was basically the home for smart contracts. It was sort of the fork, or not the fork, but basically the layer on Bitcoin to actually do things, right? Now, while Bitcoin has an ETF, Ethereum also has an ETF. It has not done so well recently. Many people call it a stable coin. But that being said, I think there's a lot of potential over here. Likely goes to My original predictions were like 10 to 12.5K. We're sitting at $2,600 right now. Likely, I do expect this token to continue to correct at least at 2,100 to 2,200. Once we do that, I think we can get back to around 4,000 and then go higher. That being said, I personally think that is between. I have Ethereum as an A. I very strongly believe in this, but I don't believe, like, I would not want to be in a coma with Ethereum right now. Depends, short-term coma or whatever. The next one I want to talk about is HBAR now, or Hedera. Hedera is another token that like a lot of people are having discussions about. Most of the time, whenever I would see this, it would come in with like a lot of spam, some bullish catalyst behind it. Although what I will say here, so much before, and there are a ton of people who are flexing their profits, I personally don't see what the value add is of Hedera versus the other tokens. So for me, this is not a token that I would want to have. Correct me if there's, so for that reason, I put it as a C. There's rationale for having it. It's not useless like a governance token, but it is what it is. The next token is Hyperliquid. Now, Hyperliquid is what we call a very unique product market fit. The tokens were fully sent out to the community. You had to have farmed the Hyperliquid like perpetual DEX. You had to use it to collect these hype tokens. You also had to sign disclosure, which I know some people unfortunately missed out. But I think there's so much potential here. This is effectively an on-chain Binance, and it's definitely innovation that we haven't seen in a long time. They have mechanisms basically where it buys back hype as well. And short of an unlock happening in November, I think there's a lot of potential with this token. I know I might get some flack for this, but I am putting Hyperliquid in my God tier. In the next year and a bit, I think that this, not only is it a very safe token because of the holders and sort of the buyback program, but I also, because with Ethereum, I would have loved to put this under God tier. Ethereum is continuously being sold by the Ethereum Foundation. Hyperliquid is being held by the people who got the airdrop, very, very loyal people. But not just that, they have the immense buyback program that continues to stabilize the price. That's why when the entire market collapsed on February 3rd as a response to tariff announcements, Hyperliquid was actually positive while everything else was negative. I believe Hyperliquid will be a triple-digit coin this cycle, so I'm putting this in God tier. The next token is Injective. Now, Injective is probably the only good IBC token that exists. I think Celestio is complete trash. I think Cosmos is trash. Injective is fast. It's got a bit of compatibility with Ethereum, which is why you've got to use your ledger whenever you're using your Injective. That being said, it's down immensely. Like, I believe it was like $40 or something like a few months ago, and now it's like sitting at 14. It's sitting literally at support after going down even below that. Let's just sort of zoom out. It's actually below support. What am I saying? Like, around 20, 20, even get a chance to go up and sort of challenge where we were at this in the spring, which was around $50. Not something I'm super bullish on. I would put Injective as a C. Not completely useless, but if any token from IBC's got a chance, I think Injective is probably the best one for that. Next token I want to talk about is Jewel. Jewel is not a jewel. It's from DeFi Kingdoms. Complete trash token. It's used for gas, don't get me wrong, but the team is continuously dumping Jewel tokens. You've got a lot of people underwater. This token continuously underperforms. Like, in this bull market, it's probably the only token that has not done well. Like, I remember this token skyrocketing back in, I say skyrocketing. It was a little blip about a year ago in December 2023, went to like 80 cents. I had bought a bunch of Jewel at like 10, 15 cents, sold it there, told people no one wants to listen, so be it. Most token holders are down 99.9%. Like a guy named Sticks Intern is very famous for being down so bad. I think this token will continue to just completely get absolutely brutalized. So I'm surprised it's sitting at 6 cents. I would completely stay away. This is a masterclass of how to take a 1 billion market cap project and now towards 7.5 million. When we probably look at it again, it's probably going to be worth less than 1 million because the team continues to dump these tokens on their holders and the number of holders continues to decrease over time. Okay, so for that reason, I have this as F. I wish I had a tier like called the basement, which is way below. I would put Jewel there. The next token I want to talk about is Jupiter. Now, prior to what just came out, I used to believe that Jupiter was the best team that existed. I'm very shocked to hear that Jupiter and WhereMeow was actually one of the co-founders of Meteora. I was not aware of it. Given what's happened with that, their acquisition of Moonshot, now everything makes sense. Because now it seems like what Jupiter was trying to do is effectively control the meme coin casino and get a lot of the fees because that's so profitable. Now, from a business perspective, of course, they're going to make so much money. But from an ethics, moral perspective, and if you want your Solana bags to do well, this is not a good way to go about it because you have basically the people doing the DEX, doing the liquidity. Then they want to also be the people who are also onboarding fiat. Like, give me a break. Like, I personally am very disappointed to hear about this because until today, I would have put Jupiter as A. I now had to put Jupiter as C. I think, there are some benefits to having the token. Stake it for active staking rewards. They have Jupuary. They paid out very well. They've had a lot of liquidity infusions. But now that I know all this, now I realize, wait a second, how much money they made off Meteora, because WhereMeow is getting money when Meteora is sort of doing all those pools and all these things. So just something to keep aware of. I'm going to talk a bit about like Solana later, but from now I put Jupiter as C. The next token I want to talk about is Camino Finance. Camino Finance is much like Aave. I think it's a fantastic protocol. Love their lending platform. They are a lot newer than Aave. So because of that, because DeFi is not as important right now, I'll put them as a B. Great protocol. Love using them. The next one is Kaspa. Now, let me tell you something about Kaspa. Kaspa will have you drinking all the Kool-Aid. They tell you that they solved the trilemma. They tell you, oh, wait a second, guys, we solved decentralization, scalability, and security, right? Well, here's the problem. If you literally have Kaspa having any sort of load on their network, it completely gets destroyed, right? Because they have this whole idea of the block DAG, which is, multiple blocks, all in one chain. It's not a blockchain, it's a block DAG. So what happened was when they launched KRCs, the entire network got completely screwed up and there was not many people using it. So any load is horrible for it. That tied with the fact that Mara was completely dumping their holdings, and because of it, you can see the price of Kaspa has gone from highs of 20 cents to around 10 cents. It was way lower than that, actually. I think a few weeks ago. Let me just sort of zoom out over here. Yeah, it was like sitting around 8 cents. This is a token that I think has potential. Yeah, we'll put it in C for now. But until we get any more news and any more updates on their sort of building of that new protocol, not the protocol, the way their chain's going to work, I don't see any reason to rank it any higher. Because of the lag, Litecoin went up here. What I'll say about Litecoin is Litecoin is definitely a Dino coin. It's been around forever. I believe there's ETF plans and such, which is why it pumped recently. That being said, what's the point of having Litecoin in your wallet? If you can get a trade on it, great. I'll put it as a B. Don't see any real reason. Remember, I'm being very critical. So far, most crypto people will put so many tokens up here. No, we'll be very picky. So far, God tier, Bitcoin, and Hyperliquid. A tier, Aave, BNB, Ethereum. Okay, so let's keep going. The next token is Mantra. Mantra has been doing fantastic. We all know about our Mantra airdrops. That being said, I don't see any real value of using this. It's connected with IBC once again, and you know how IBC goes. I do think it's a lot better than the garbage we have here, so I'll just put it in the D tier. To tell you the honest truth, I'll be dumping 100% of my Mantra airdrop when I get it. The next token is Optimism. Optimism is a governance token. It's tied in with the super chain. The beauty about the Optimism token, though, is you get airdrops of more Optimism token if you delegate it. So it's not as bad as Arbitrum, which does nothing. So for that reason, I put it as a C. But once again, it's not something you want to hold for the long term. While we're at it, let me just talk about ZK Sync. I'm going to tell you guys this because people came at me when I sold 100% of my ZK Sync airdrop, back last summer. And the reason I did that was I believe this token was worthless. What was the point? Another useless governance token. And it's played out exactly how I expected. In fact, I saved so much money, and a lot of influencers who used to prop up ZK Sync are now getting tired of it. They do have a ZK Sync Ignite program, which just gives you more ZK tokens to completely dump onto the market. I do that all the time. Just watch my EVM wallet. Every week, I collect my ZK tokens and sell them. No reason to have this. I treat this the exact same way as Arbitrum, so it will go right here. In fact, I'll just move this next to Arbitrum just so it's clear. Now, the next token that we have here is Pepe. Now, we talked about Dogecoin being like the OG meme, and that was like the original meme coin on the blockchain. But if you think about any meme and any sort of face, the most popular meme is tied to Pepe. People who have never been in crypto know what Pepe is. Dogecoin was built on crypto. Pepe was not. Pepe was the best meme. I remember like trading Pepe cards last cycle, They're popular. And let me tell you something. I strongly believe, and I put over 6 figures into this token, and I have over 6 figures currently in this token. And I believe that Pepe is going to be the premier meme coin, the highest market cap meme coin by the end of the cycle. That's my belief. Obviously, it's not financial advice. I believe that as people start to realize, and they've started to see the trenches are a bunch of insider trash, you got a bunch of scammy influencers trying to turn tokens to a couple billion. I believe Pepe is currently sitting around maybe 4 billion. I think that's last time I checked. Yeah, 4.1 billion market cap. And sorry for the lag, 4.04 billion market cap. This is something that I truly think is going to do wonders. It has done, it had multiple pumps, and it's done well in a period of time where Ethereum has. Anyways, what I'm going to do is go back here, and I'm going to rate this as an A. Okay. The next token I want to talk about is Polkadot. Polkadot just is a bunch of smokes and mirrors, in my opinion. All they do is pay for marketing, and marketing does not get you any sort of value on the block space. So in my opinion, I think Polkadot will do okay, right? It's sitting around $4 right now, I believe. I bring up Polkadot's price. Maybe it's around $4, $4.80. I believe it was like 15 or 16 bucks like in December. Oh, what am I saying? It was like 10 bucks in December. But not done well. Not a real good chain. You just see like how poorly it's done. It's all marketing. It's all smokes and mirrors. And for that reason, I'll put Polkadot as a D. Okay. The next token is formerly called Matic, but now called Polygon. Really nothing much to say here. It's only been downhill. I dumped this token once they did the transition, and it is just sold off. Like, it's just completely sold off. Like, even pumping the 70 cents here in December, like, just if you held this token, you've only gotten brutalized. It's just not a good token. There's no value to having it. So I will put this as a D. The next token is Pyth. I always laugh when people tell me, oh, have you heard about Pyth or Pith or whatever? This is another trash token I sold for over $1. When I told people I was selling for over $1, you see, like, I basically marked the top here. They call me an idiot. They call me paper hand brown gent. Let me tell you what. But do you know what happens? At least, while I was holding Pyth, everybody but Pyth holders got rewards. The people who staked Pyth got forwarded to scams where they lost money. And the people who staked other things, like if you staked Injective, if you used Helix Labs on Injective, you got Pyth token, which I dumped. But I never got any Pyth tokens to Pyth. So what happened was the Pyth team, which is a sort of price aggregator, right? That's what Pyth is for. They basically were diluting their holders as a promotion to other projects. So no thanks. Get out of here. You are just as bad in my eyes as Jewel. The next token I want to talk about, I believe this is Render. Render is one of the top AI coins. They have a full infrastructure. And I believe, let me just bring up the chart. Render has kind of sold off, but I think it does trade very well with, what's the name of that company? NVIDIA. I think it trades very, very well with NVIDIA, obviously until recently because the crypto tailwind. But basically, I think that Render's sort of place in AI, it's one of two AI coins that I invest in. I believe the market cap is small enough that it can see significant appreciation, right? So when we do have an altcoin season, I believe that the market cap for Render will likely be between $15 to $20 billion at a minimum. I believe it's a really good spot for this, and it's really good technology. So for that reason, I have Render sitting as an A. The next token I want to talk about is Ronin. So Ronin is tied to a lot of the gaming projects. Most recently, I bought 9,000 something Ronin for NFT collection called Fableborn. It's been tied with games such as Axie Infinity. It's been tied with Pixels. I think it's a great gaming token. Kind of been sold off, but if you want a gaming exposure, can't go wrong with this network. You can now get it in your Rabby wallet too. So I'll put this as a B. The next token is Sei. The Sei ecosystem has gotten completely destroyed because all they've done is host a bunch of scammers, a bunch of exit liquidity. I wanted to talk to the team. The team was not open to having a discussion. The team, all they believe is, hey, let's just print more Sei tokens and let's give them to people to say nice things about us. If you are willing to say that Sei is amazing and make some videos about it and promote it, we'll pay you, right? So a lot of influencers are willing to do it because they don't care about you. Complete trash token, sold every asset that I have here, F tier. Next token is Shiba Inu, which was the second meme following Dogecoin. I think Shiba Inu has a very strong cult or community. I mean, cult is not a bad word. Cult is good. But then again, once again, it's one of the older memes. No reason to actually jump into it. I believe the market cap for Shiba Inu is already significantly high. So, kind of pointless to get into it. Where are we sitting here? No, this is not the right Shiba Inu. Shiba. Here we go. God, this is... Yeah, so we're seeing a 9 billion market cap. Put in perspective, this is more than double Pepe's. And honestly, I have no reason to get in here. I was one of the first 1,000 holders of Shiba Inu last cycle. I'm going to put this in C tier. You can't go wrong with it, but I personally would want to hold it. The next token is Sol. Now, Solana. I won't lie. I'd say right now it's probably got the best tech. Because it's got the best tech, it's got the most users. You see people using it. It's sort of normie friendly, right? The way the cultures were developed was Ethereum used to be so expensive to transact on. So when you had a very cheap place to go to do your transactions, people went there and you would flip there. That became Solana. On Ethereum, it cost you $200 to sell. So people didn't want to do that. But the reality is people want to say Solana is full of scams now. Right? These are the same people who told me I was crazy for saying that meme coin Pump.Fun was bad, right? Now they're like, oh, Solana's bad. No. There are bad actors on it, and the bad actors will always go to where the money is. I still think Solana has a bright future. I think it's got to flush out all these terrible builders, these terrible founders, these terrible actors, the KOLs, and all these things that have been basically stealing money from retail. And I think it'll do just great after. And for that reason, Sol is also in my A tier. I believe Solana is down significantly. I believe it's sitting around 160 bucks. Oh, okay, it's $170 right now, just barely. But you can see here, it has really dropped since the Trump token, where not shown on 170. The next token is Sonic. So Sonic is an L1 as well. Sort of it's the rebrand of Phantom. Not really much that's been done here. Like honestly, like I expected so much more from it. So it's another L1. I view it the same way I view Aptos. I'm still betting on it, so I do have some Sonic tokens in my portfolio, but I'm using them to earn the Sonic airdrop, which I will be jettisoning as soon as possible. So because of that, I will put Sonic in the B tier. Where to go? Oh, here it is. The next token I want to talk about, I want to get to this one first, XRP. Now, I have never been an XRP maxi. In fact, many of you have seen me call it out. And the reason for that is I don't think being a maxi of anything is a good idea, because when you're a maxi, you're tribalistic and you sort of shut out every option. XRP was actually the first token I ever bought. Many people don't know that. But back in 2017, I think, 2017, I bought XRP because somebody told me to. Did very well on it, round trip pretty much. But XRP is a fantastic token. I think there are periods of overperformance for XRP. And once I was told to buy XRP around 50 cents, I believe, like in a few months ago, I rotated a bunch of money into it, got a 5x, sold all of it, and now it's been retracing. XRP sitting around $2.50, $2.60. And now I still think it's a very strong token that can do well. It is between an A and a B for me. Because of that, I will just put it as an A. I think you can't really go wrong with it. That doesn't mean XRP is going to be amazing, but I think that it's still it's more of a major coin right now than others. What I would say is your money's safer in XRP than it is in some of the other ones. It's got a way stronger base of holders. And the reason I want to talk about that is because the next token that's on the list is called Stellar. And I believe Stellar is just a beta play of XRP. So for all the reasons I talk about XRP, when XRP does well, Stellar does well, but I'd rather just hold the alpha. So I'll put Stellar over here in the B category. The next token is Sui. Now, I think Sui was a very unique take on L1. Once again, you want fast speed, very rival Solana. There's a lot of shade on it because of the unlocks, which no one really cared about. So I got in around $1. It went to $5. I sold it around $4 something, and now it's retraced to $3 and something, $3.20. And I've been telling you guys that I'm looking for it to retrace to $2.30, $2.50, and I'm going to buy it back again. I do think it's a good token. I want to have it in my portfolio for this cycle because I do think that this token can do very well. I think it can go to, depending on what our overall crypto market cap looks like, maybe 50 billion. I know that sounds insane, but I think it's possible. For that reason, I'll put it as an A. The next token I want to talk about is Superverse. Now, I don't know where my Beam token went. I guess it didn't get included, but I view Superverse and Beam very similar. They are gaming infrastructure plays. So you don't see Beam, but imagine it's here too. I think both of those tokens are very good. When gaming rotation happens, I think they will do very well. And for that reason, I'm going to put them as a B. They are like, I won't blame you for putting it as an A. If gaming was coming sooner, I would put it as an A. But because it's not, it's a B. I don't have any gaming in the A tier because gaming is always the last part of the cycle. So there's no reason right now for me to have it, but I still think it's way better than a lot of the other tokens that we have down here. The next one is BitTensor or Tau. I talked about the reasons I'm bullish on Render. It's very much the same thing here. AI is a massive opportunity. I do believe that, we have things like Virtuals and AI16Z on chain. You have other platforms, but I think BitTensor and Render are the two strongest AI tokens that we have access to, and having exposure to them will pay dividends. I believe BitTensor is sitting around 2 to 3 billion market cap. Right now, it's an A. The next token I have here is Toncoin. All these grifters went to Toncoin because they knew people with Telegram are, easy pickings. And basically, the moment the founder of Ton got arrested and basically they were willing to compromise everything the Telegram had going on for it, and then more recently, forcing apps to only pick Telegram, I was completely off this, dumped my entire Ton allocation, not interested. But I don't blame you because it is an L1. It does have a lot of potential users. So I'll put this as a C. The next token I have here is Dog with Hat. Dog with Hat is probably the most known Solana meme coin, right? There's Bonk and whatever. I'm only going to talk about one meme coin from each chain. I don't want to get into meme coins with you guys. The WIF token has gotten completely brutalized. On the way up, everyone is like, oh my God, it's a dog with a hat. And now that it's going down, people are like, it's just a dog with a hat. So like, I personally think this token is cooked. I would love to see it do better. I just think there are way better places to put your money. It's not even a good beta of Solana. I think it's a beta more of Anthem. So for that reason, I have this as a D. And finally, we have Tron. People think Tron sucks. I think Tron will always have a place here. In Dubai, I'm buying real estate, and whenever I do, they basically ask you if you'd like to send Tether, and they want Tether on Tron. Most people accept payments on Tron via Tether, or on Tron via Tether. And I think for that reason, it will not go anywhere. It's cheap to use. It's very fast. It's also a Dino coin. I don't hold any of it, but I put this as a B. So this is a quick summary of all the tokens that I've reviewed. Obviously, there are hundreds and thousands more. Sorry if I didn't review the token that you wanted me to, but let me tell you something. I don't know where this noise came in the background. But basically, guys, I hate when construction just randomly goes on, But what I will say here, just to close off the video, is all of these are my opinion, not financial advice. Please do your own research. The reality is so many things can change. Please be very careful. You can make a lot of money in crypto, but you can lose a lot of money as well. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry for all the noise in the background, but thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.